and welcome to the What the Fork Monarchs Friday Focus. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harley as we look back on a pretty interesting night, Dave. Final score 48 to the Monarchs, 42 to the Cheetahs. We hear from Monarch of the match, Josh Pickering. We hear from Oxford's main man on the night, Dylan Rummel. And we've got what's known in the business as a Pickle Special, this time assisted by Sam Masters.
What do we call it, a Sam Special? I don't know, yeah.
Heat 13, and for my money, probably race of the season so far. But Dave, we'll see that in a little bit's time. We knew coming into the match this was Oxford's last away match of the season. They're one of our rivals for those playoff spots down towards maybe 5th, 6th place. So we knew it was absolutely imperative that we won. At times it looked dicey. Oxford had a 6-point lead at points. There was a bit where I was cursing team managers for not making changes I thought they should have. But when it matters, heats 13 and 15, step to the fore. Sam Masters and Josh Pickering, 2-5-1s, and it's the Monarchs with the 3 points. Oxford for 1 that they'll probably feel should have been more, and we can say we're pretty happy with that for a night's work.
Yeah, an absolutely fascinating evening here at Armadale. You know, as you say, it's all balanced. Both teams knows what's at stake. Oxford didn't really have their problems to seek with our injury problems this week, but we know ourselves, and it's the old Friday night guest situation. I think both teams probably would hope for maybe a better option there. Although Leon Flint's only been beaten by Sam and Josh. It's a bit harsh, but Scott Nichols is here. It's a different night, but he's not. Cheetahs looked good earlier on. Really took advantage. Summer's looking at best he's been in years. Never mind this week. And and it was looking, as you say, looking really troublesome. And then they ran into a few problems, and we took advantage of that, and as you say, finished in style with Sam and Josh.
Yep, finished in style indeed, and as we have been all season, absolutely led from the front by Masters and Pickering, both of them finishing on paid 15 maxes. There's 28 points. I mean, you only need 46 to win. If you get 28 for 2 riders, you're doing well. Paco at his frustrating best, maybe you would say, pops up with, was it 2 heat wins? 2 seconds, 7 points, but then you have other rides, heat 14 where you're maybe looking for a little bit better. Kai started with ignition problems and then came at the 4, and it was the bottom end where we were struggling there. I said it on the commentary on the stream, we needed one of those 2 to step up. I think by the time we got to heat 9 or 10, neither of the Monarchs reserves had beaten anyone but young Luke Colleen, and we really needed it. And then Jacob steps up and gets a hard fought third, and that sets us on our way, and maybe a race result we weren't expecting. Heat 13 we'll see later. I don't have many words for that. And then still came down to heat 15, but when you've got Masters and Pickering, you've always got a chance, and 5-1 it was, and that sent Oxford home with nothing.
Yeah, no, it's the way we've finished a few meetings now this season, and I guess we're going to have to keep living with our nails like that. But as you say, some crucial points for Jacob Hook there, particularly later on in the evening, because Dylan Rummel was the best of the 4 reserves here, and we're always struggling to get points from him, but Paco and Kai, they dug in. They got 1-5-1, ably assisted by Batchelor being a bit too eager at the start for the second time in the meeting. But that's Speedway. Sometimes you've got to take advantage. And Paco really unlucky, and he ate fighting really hard from the back and eventually getting between them. And I think most of the home straight thought he'd managed to nip it on the line, but I think you're saying maybe otherwise.
No, I mean, I haven't seen the replay and having been up there, I think it was the right call. Paco certainly thought he did, or whether he did what I like a rider to do. If you think it's been tight on the line, get fist pumping, get wheeling.
Sure, the referee you think is one.
Whoever was in the box did well. Get the Monarchs heat winners music on. Get going there. Give him he's got a decision in his mind. Try and persuade him that way. But yeah, it was tough to end. We got there in the end, as we say. But one man who was on fire throughout, unbeaten on the night, Monarch of the match, Josh Pickering. So Josh, 3 points for the team, maximum for yourself, and Monarch of the match. Good Friday night's work in the end.
Yeah, it was good, mate. I was happy with how things ended up, and it was good to be dominant at home again. It's nice, and another win for the team, which was really good.
And talk me through that heat 13. The first time all night you and Sam hadn't made the gate. You were on the outside. Everyone was looking to balk you. You finally got round that, allowed Sam up the inside as well.
Yeah, heat 13 we're off obviously 2 and 4, and they weren't the best gates of the night. 1 and 3 were definitely preferable later on in the heats. Well, to be honest, throughout the whole night it was 1 and 3. But coming off gate 4, obviously Troy Batchelor on the inside here. It's no easy task, but I think he was too worried about what I was doing, and obviously just I had myself in the right position, and when he was trying to look after me. Sam took care of him as well. So we come through, got the 5-1 that was needed, and then, we done the same in heat 15. So I was quite happy with how it finished up.
And absolutely crucial 3 points for the Monarchs. We're chasing the playoffs, but Oxford, one of those teams that are in the fight with us. So if we'd given them any more points, it would have been a double sort of penalty against the Monarchs for doing that. So to make sure that Oxford only go away with 1, would have been better if it was none. But the boys got there in the end.
Yeah, 1's better than 3 or 4, and if they would have got 3 or 4, we would end up with none. So 3 points to us against a side like that, it's, I think we done very well. All the boys chipped in tonight, and that's what makes a win. Me and Sam, obviously we have to do our job, but at the same time, if the other 5 riders aren't backing us up, then there's no point. So I'm happy with how things are going, and obviously having Ryan and Robbie here, it makes my job a lot easier. And when I'm here sitting here just cruising, and I'm lucky to have good mechanics this year. I've got good people in Poland helping me. I've got Sean helping me for Kings Lynn, and Ryan and Robbie for Edinburgh. So makes my life a lot easier, and obviously having my wife with me as well. She does a lot of the driving with me throughout the middle of the night and all that. So I'm happy with how things are going.
And it's been a quieter couple of weeks for the Monarchs after a busy spell, but okay, there's no matches till next Friday, but as it stands, it looks like we get Lassie and James back. It'll be good for everyone to get back to a full 1-7.
Yeah, well, it's probably been over a month since that's happened, so it will be nice to have them back, and hopefully they're feeling fit and ready to go and want to ride as much as they did at the start of the season. So coming back from injury can go either way sometimes. You can come back and kill it, or come back and not so much. So hopefully the boys hit the ground running, and it's just we just need to keep winning. As simple as that. We can't afford to lose any home matches. We've got Poole to still come here, I think. I don't really know who else, but if we can get through them and get 3 points against them, then we should be pretty safe, So we've had Glasgow, we've had Oxford, we have Poole, and I believe everyone else, we should be all right.
Perfect. Well done tonight, Josh.
Thanks,
Another Monarch in the match. Josh there just saying how important that was for everyone, and helping us to get the job done. If we flip over to the Oxford side, and if I was an Oxford fan, either in the stadium tonight or watching the stream, I think I'd actually be going home fuming. To not have got the points, you mentioned there, the Monarchs had a job to do and they did it at the end, but for me, Oxford still threw at least a draw with there. Troy Batchelor, a man of his experience, gets done twice for twitching at the start, puts himself off a 15 in a heat. He
needed to win. That's the one that they want him to win.
He might not have been looking to win, but certainly you've been going for it. And then heat 12, you hear Summers' bike go kaboom. I heard it from over there coming out. Hit stops, there's no one there with a bike for him in time. Eventually Batchelor comes out. He's on his way round. He's done for the 2 minutes. Okay, I don't know when the bike change was done and the rules about being on the way at the start, etc. But then the referee puts the 2 minutes on immediately. But I mean, what's the communication there between the pits and the ref? Because if Summers is straight back out, then there's no reason why the 2 minutes can't go straight back on. You put Summers off at 15, away you go. But then they change it over to Colleen. Colleen's not ready. Colleen comes out, gets done. It was untidy, and they had to feel that was points thrown away, both from Batchelor and then again in heat 12.
Definitely. I mean, and from my perspective, I would have put Summers out on 50 metres, maybe because it's not his bike. That's probably ultimately been why they made that decision. But it's disappointing from them. I mean, it's more disappointing that Summers' bike's gone, and that's hopefully that's nothing too expensive for him, because he's, as I say, looking really good tonight, Aaron. But it gave us a massive boost that heat, that 4-2 in heat 12, set us on the way, and Summers made up for it in heat 14 with a 5-1 with Dylan Rimmel, as we say. So they're looking good, and most of them are looking probably happy with their score chart, apart from, as I say, Batchelor's incident and young Luke Colleen trying hard, never far off it, but probably too soon for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so. You're right. It's a solid score throughout. I mean, obviously Rimmel, star of the show, 13+2, and was exceptional. And weirdly, after seeing him when he guested for the Monarchs and doing a lot of it for the back tonight, he was so sharp out the gate and did a lot of his work for the front. But then, you go down the scorecard after that. Leon Font 7, but as you mentioned, only beaten by Masters and Pickering. Heap 7, Summers 8+2, Batchelor 6, maybe a little bit disappointed. No heat wins in there, and of course we mentioned that 15 metres. But knowing how important that was for Oxford tonight, and probably meant more to them than it did to the Monarchs. In the grand scheme of things, it was a massive match for both. If I was an Oxford fan, as I say, driving down the road tonight, it would be a feeling of we've thrown that one away and perhaps thrown our playoff chances away.
Yeah, that was it. We said that on in the preview show. Yep. They really needed points tonight. They're now behind it. They can go and win all their home matches, and we'll be hoping they do that apart from against us to make sure nobody else picks up any away points. But you'd like to think we can certainly finish above Oxford now if we win our rest of our home matches, and so that's one of the main rivals potentially gone. We've still got to do our job.
Yep.
But yeah, for them, they'll be looking back at a season that what might have been, and maybe they've just done too much too soon. It's we're middle of June, late June now, sorry, and that's all their away matches gone, you know, and their team changes probably made them stronger and could have given them another run at it. But hey, you never know, they might still be there. But for now, they're going home with just 1 point.
That's it, just 1 point. But one man that did all to make sure that was more than one was Don Rummel. I caught up with him after the match. So Don, you'll be getting used to talking to us now. I think it's the third time, but after a 13+2 score, it's got to be worth it. Got to be pretty happy with your own night's work. And a point for the team. Maybe just fell shy at the end of getting those big points you maybe needed.
Yeah, no, I think the boys got stuck in. I think there was a couple mistakes where I should have. I think in one of my rides, I just made a slight mistake, and I believe Paco had gotten through. But yeah, no, I'm happy with it for sure.
Yeah. And then of course, that was the last away match, so it is another away point on the board. So the rest of the season just kind of spent making sure you do the job at home and looking at other results elsewhere to see if you can get into the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I think I think all the boys are working hard. We're doing what we can to really dial in earlier on in the meeting, and I think it's starting to show that we're all starting to click together, and there's a lot of teamwork and a lot of collaboration going on in the pits during the meeting. And for someone like me that's a bit more inexperienced, it definitely helps quite a bit. So, yeah, no, I'm happy, and I think if we can keep up our form, I don't see why we can't get in the playoffs.
Yeah, and of course, a little bit undermanned tonight. Scott Nichols, I guess at the bottom and then rider replacement. It means everyone else has got to come together, and it looked like, maybe just it got to the guys a bit at the end. Everyone having had so many rides, and machines start getting tired, and 2 minutes start getting missed, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's tough, when we don't have a full team. I think I'd kind of made a joke on this. I think when we were doing our track walk, kind of like, what's happened to our team? You know what I mean? But no, I think as long as the boys kind of heal up and they can kind of come back, in the weeks to come, and we can kind of start to form the bond again as a team, then yeah, I think it's really only up from here.
Well done tonight, Don. Thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Rummel becoming a firm favourite at EMTV, sometimes by accident, sometimes because he's the only one that picks up the phone. But thanks as always to Don for speaking to us, and he can be delighted with his night's work.
Yeah, and he just gave our reserves absolutely zero chance of beating them all night, so it's fair play up.
Yep. Well, Dave, that will just about wrap. No, wait, that won't just about wrap it up. Well,
No.
Going to tease everyone there. Yep, of course, it's time for our heat of the night. Heat 13 it was. My pick a race of the season so far. Let's enjoy that now.
Heat 13 finds Leon Flint coming into gate 1. And he was trying to sort out the problems, wasn't he? And he's only a guest. Sam Masters comes from gate 2. He's unbeaten. Troy Batchelor's on gate 3. And Josh Pickering, who's also unbeaten, comes from gate 4. And the chasers have gated. Batchelor and Flint go ahead. Pickering going for the huge blast round the outside. Both the marks have got past Flint. Here comes Pickering, thundering into that bottom bin. My goodness, how can he go that quickly? Batchelor still leads. Pickering's past him. Masters is up the inside. Incredible riding by the Monarchs pair. Pickering leads. Masters is in second. Sensational race. Final turn. And what a 5-1 that was. On a night when we've said passing's very difficult due to the state of the track. What a magnificent ride from the back that was.
Now, Mike, I could be accused of hyperbole here, but I think that might be race of the season so far. I had my eyes shut for most of the first 2 laps of that one, and then it was the Monarchs that come to the fore. Again, I'll wait exactly for the referee to tell us in what order. Exceptional stuff. Dave, I think I watched the first 2, or the first time round I watched the first 2 with my eyes closed. I don't know if that's a contradiction in terms, watching something with your eyes closed, but so tight between all 4. Josh on that line, we all know he loves on the outside. Sam using him so cleverly as the riders go out to block that on that inside. But the final result was 5-1 good guys, as we like to say, and that really set us up. And what a race, more of the same the rest of the way, boys.
Absolute sensational race, as race of the season. It's probably more than that. Could it even be their best race at Armadale? Maybe 2014 has got a different thing behind it, but yeah, absolute quality from the 2 boys. But when Sam's on the inside, Josh is on the outside, it's fantastic to watch. They do it every week, but never had to do it like that before, and it's worth it again. If we could, we'd show it again.
Yep, but if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, just skip back.
There's a rewind button.
Skip back 2 minutes and you'll get it from there. And I think we'll end it there, Dave. We don't need to talk too much more after that. So, and I think you've got a few text messages to answer to. Your phone's been gone haywire as we've been talking here. So we'll be back during the week as we preview another huge match next week. We've maybe got ready Oxford tonight, but Scunthorpe come. They're another rival. We'll be back on Wednesday with a preview show. Until then, goodbye.